So let's see. This this yeah this looks about right. Okay, I'm sorry for the sound, but I'll try my best to make it sound better. There's something wrong with my computer, this computer. But anyway, this is Crash Course Episode 2, Comic Books. Comic, I think it's a C. C. Yeah, it looks like a C2, I think. Yeah, I think so. Okay, let's go talk about Marvel Now. Marvel Now is a series of comic books that basically ripping off what DC did last year with a relaunch, but I read some stuff online and it's not really, because in DC universe they just rebooted the entire universe, whereas in the Marvel one they just kind of like changed the status quo, or at least threw in some new interesting concepts. This I think. I've read quite a few. I've got a list here because it's December 2012 right now, so it's pretty close to the beginning. I don't know what's going to happen later, but it's pretty close to the beginning. So I'll go through a list of the books I've read and things I bought and things that I think is good. Like I said before, I'm not much of a Marvel person. I generally hate Avengers because there's just too many. But I never really bought the Avengers comics. Wait, is it X-Men or Avengers? X-Men I hate, Avengers I am indifferent, because I don't usually buy it, because they have like this big story and then later it doesn't mean anything. So with Avengers I'm a little bit iffy, and X-Men I generally hate. I did like X-Babies. That's the like little baby versions of it. It's quite funny. I remember reading it. Scott Lobdell, I think, like 94, 95. It's quite fun. Probably read it again. Okay, the books, I go through the X-Men ones. I'll start from the bottom. I don't think Young Avengers come out yet. It's X-Men Legacy. I tried reading it. They are basically, it put me off, so I couldn't read the X-Men. I haven't read Wolverine. I don't think I've read Ultimate X-Men or Uncanny X-Force. I read Uncanny Avengers. That's a very peculiar book. I think it's a bit silly. Yeah, I won't stick to the negatives. I'll stick to the positives. I think the concept of it was a bit silly. Let's see, Secret Avengers. Yeah, I read most of the Avengers books as well. Savage Wolverine hasn't come out yet. I'll throw. Oh yeah, Nova hasn't come out yet. Let's see. Okay, I'll just tell you I saw Cable and X-Force, Avengers Arena, and All New X-Men, which I consider X-Men books. And Cable X-Force I thought was a little boring. I think this is one of those comics where you need to feel like you have to care about the characters and you want to follow them. I guess that's which is why, even though I like Peter David, even though he writes X-Force, I never read X-Force. Maybe I should, but I probably won't, because it's X-Men. It does put me off. Too many characters and whatnot. Avengers Arena, I think, is an excellent book. But actually, I'll talk about that as an Avengers. All new X-Men, I actually kind of enjoyed, because you get the old counterparts and the new crazy counterparts, you put them together, see the dynamic and the conflict that rises from what you were before to what you are now. It's a pretty 90s zero-hour DC universe concept, but it's quite interesting. I read it up to issue 3 or 4 now. It's a boring issue. The first 2 issues they get quite interesting, and the third one is kind of boring, or the fourth one. I'm not sure. Otherwise, it's been quite interesting. It's kind of like a lazy issue where they just sit around and talk about how they feel about each other after they met each other, but they don't really. That's the main problem with that. And Bendis does that sometimes. That's the problem with one of his when he writes books. Okay. I also read Fantastic Four and FF. I didn't like it because I like Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. I thought that was quite cool. At least I connected with it, and they kind of gave Johnny Storm and Franklin and his sister like these really specific characterizations, and Fractions like got rid of it, and those were my highlights. When Franklin was maturing and how Valerie was maturing and how Johnny Storm was learned and became mature after everything he's done. He still does a little bit of silly stuff, but you can see his temperament has gone better. But in this one, that's all erased, and Johnny Storm's gone back to his, what was called a stereotype, archetypical loons. It's too easy to write, I think. Didn't like it. Ha, negativity. Right, get some water off your pressure. Hey, water, where are you? Water. This is not product placement. This is delicious water that helps me with my gastritis. It's pretty good, actually. Feel dehydrated. I should be able to think. Okay. That's why I didn't like it. I'll talk about the stuff I like. Wow. Okay. Things I like are. Actually, maybe I should just do one of just things that I like. Wait, this is part one. I'll do part two.